Have you ever paused to reflect on what happens inside you when you masturbate? Not just the sensations in your body, but deeper, in your mind, your heart, your spirit. This is a topic few dare to speak about openly. Even today, when so much seems free, masturbation carries shadows of shame, guilt, or judgment. Maybe it's from religion, your upbringing, or the way you see yourself. Many feel a storm within when they engage in this act, a conflict they cannot name. What if I told you this act, often seen as simple or wrong, reveals something profound about who you are? Shi Heng taught us to look beyond the surface. He saw every action as a mirror of the soul, a sign of what drives you. Masturbation is no different. It's not just a habit, it's a message. Sometimes, it's your mind seeking balance, filling a void, or reaching for something lost. It can be an escape from pain or a way to touch forgotten parts of yourself. This act, so private, holds layers of meaning. That's why we're here today, not to judge or preach, but to explore with clarity, through the lens of inner wisdom. Shi Heng would say, "What you do not face within yourself will guide you in ways you cannot see." If you act without understanding, you're led by forces you don't control. Desires, impulses, habits, they seem yours, but are they? Before you judge yourself, pause. Ask, what is this desire saying? What part of you is crying out? What happens to the energy you release? This video will guide you to these questions. It's not about the act itself, it's about what lies beneath. First, like this video so others can find it. Subscribe and join this journey of understanding. Now, let's talk about energy. Many hear libido and think only of sex. But for Shi Heng, libido is more. It's the fire that fuels your soul. It's the force behind your dreams, your fears, your will to live. Sexual desire is just one shape this energy takes. But what happens when this fire has no path? When you feel stuck, with no purpose or outlet? It builds up, it burns, and it seeks release. Masturbation can be that release, a quick, solitary way to ease the pressure. But here's the question. Are you using this energy with awareness or letting it slip away? Shi Heng believed how you handle your energy shows your inner state. If you turn to masturbation out of habit, compulsion, or escape, it may signal your energy is trapped, spinning without direction. This isn't about right or wrong, it's about waking up. When you act without awareness, the act begins to control you. Maybe you masturbate not from desire, but from sadness, boredom, or loneliness. That's when this energy tries to fill a deeper wound. This is where you begin. Notice what drives you. Masturbation can be more than relief, it can be a way to reconnect with yourself. But only if you see your energy as sacred, not shameful. It's the force that makes you alive. Directed with care, it can transform you. Let's walk this path together and uncover what your soul is whispering. You felt it, haven't you? That moment after masturbation when a quiet emptiness creeps in. Maybe it's shame, a flicker of guilt, or just a hollow feeling, like something's missing. This isn't your imagination, it's your soul speaking. Shi Heng would say, pay attention to these moments. They're not here to punish you, but to guide you. Let's look deeper, into a place within you that holds the key to understanding, the shadow. The shadow is what you hide, even from yourself. It's the desires, emotions, and thoughts you've learned to push away. From a young age, you were taught certain things are wrong, your body, your curiosity, your lust. Society, family, or faith may have told you these are shameful, sinful, bad. So, you buried them deep in your subconscious. But what you bury doesn't vanish, it waits. It grows. And often, it finds a way out, like through masturbation, hurried and hidden, wrapped in guilt. Have you noticed how this act sometimes feels driven, almost automatic? That's the shadow moving, yearning to be seen. Shi Heng taught that the shadow isn't your enemy, it's a part of you, crying for freedom. When you masturbate in secrecy, with that heavy feeling, it's not just about pleasure. It's your shadow trying to express what you've locked away. Maybe it's a longing for acceptance, for love, for the parts of you that feel unworthy. Now, pause. Shi Heng would ask, what happens if you ignore this shadow? He said, what you do not face within will shape your life, and you'll call it fate. If you push these impulses down, they don't disappear, they control you. You repeat patterns without knowing why. Masturbation becomes not a choice, but a trap, born from repression, not freedom. The guilt you feel isn't because the act is wrong, it's because you're at war with yourself. Here's the shift: you don't fight the shadow. You don't reject your desires or try to erase them. Instead, you turn toward them. You look with courage. Ask, why do I feel this urge? Is it desire, or something deeper, fear, loneliness, a need to feel alive? What is my shadow trying to show me? This simple act of noticing cracks open the door to awareness. And awareness, my friend, is where freedom begins. Don't run from what you feel. Shi Heng would remind you, every impulse has a root, a story. When you understand that story, you gain power. You're no longer a puppet of your shadow, you become its guide. The next time that urge arises, don't act on reflex. Breathe. Ask, what part of me is speaking? Is this true desire, or is it my shadow seeking light? This question alone can shift everything. This isn't about stopping masturbation, it's about stopping the cycle of hiding. Your shadow isn't here to harm you, it's here to teach you. It holds the pieces of yourself you've forgotten. By facing it, you begin to reclaim them. You begin to live not as a divided soul, but as a whole one. Let's keep walking this path, step by step, toward clarity. Your mind is not as simple as it seems. The things you do without thinking, the habits that pull you, they have roots deep within. Shi Heng understood this: every action carries a hidden force, a memory, a wound. One of these forces is what we call a complex, a bundle of emotions, memories, and ideas tied to moments that shaped you. A complex isn't something strange, it's part of being human. But when it stirs, it can feel like you're not yourself, like something else takes over. Think about masturbation. Have you ever felt caught in a cycle? That urge to do it one more time, even when you don't truly want to? Or those moments when you turn to it after rejection, fear, or loneliness? That's not always you choosing, it might be a complex at work. Shi Heng would say, this is your past speaking, a piece of you that's still hurting. Maybe it's the teenager who felt ashamed, the child who felt unloved, or the young adult punished for their desires. These moments don't vanish, they live in you, waiting. When something in your life, a feeling, a memory, a trigger, touches that old wound, the complex wakes up. You act without thinking. You seek relief, escape, or comfort through masturbation. But it's not just about sex. It's about soothing a pain you may not even see. Shi Heng taught that these patterns aren't about weakness, they're signals. Your soul is asking you to listen, not to judge. Here's the truth: you don't break a complex by fighting it. You don't stop it by forcing yourself to quit or feeling guilty. You break it by facing it. Pause in that moment of urge. Ask, what am I running from? What pain am I trying to numb? Is it sadness, anger, or emptiness? These questions shine light on the complex. They bring it into view. And when you see it, it loses its power to control you. Shi Heng would remind you, a complex is like a storm in your mind. It feels overwhelming, but it's not your enemy. It's a part of you that needs care. When you notice it, you start to understand why you act the way you do. You see that masturbation isn't always about desire, it's often about healing something deeper. This awareness is your strength. It's the first step to turning a reflex into a choice. Don't fear these moments. They're your teachers. Shi Heng believed that what you face with courage transforms you. So, the next time you feel that pull, don't rush. Breathe. Look within. Ask, what is this complex showing me? What part of me needs love, not escape? This act of listening changes everything. It's not about stopping masturbation, it's about stopping the cycle of running from yourself. You're not broken or wrong. You're human, carrying stories within. Masturbation can be a mirror, reflecting what needs your attention. Don't punish yourself, listen. What you hear might surprise you. It might show you a path to peace, not just in your body, but in your soul. Let's keep moving forward, toward understanding. When you masturbate, who are you with? Even alone, your mind weaves a story, an image, a fantasy, a feeling of connection. This isn't just chance. Shi Heng would say, your soul is speaking through these images, revealing parts of you that long to be seen. Within you are two powerful forces, the anima, the feminine within men, and the animus, the masculine within women. These are not just ideas, they're alive in your heart, shaped by your life, your relationships, your dreams. The anima and animus grow from your experiences, your mother, father, siblings, lovers, even strangers who left a mark. They become the lens through which you see the opposite within yourself. When you feel a spark of attraction or lose yourself in a fantasy, you're often meeting your anima or animus. Shi Heng taught that these inner figures guide you, but if they're wounded or ignored, they can pull you into imbalance. Now, think about your fantasies during masturbation. Are they filled with domination, submission, or an idealized figure you can never reach? These are clues. They show where your anima or animus may be hurting, crying for healing. If your fantasies feel heavy or repetitive, it's not just about pleasure, it's your inner self seeking balance. Shi Heng would ask, who are you truly connecting with in that moment? What does this image reveal about your soul? This act, so private, is a stage where your inner world plays out. It's a dance between your conscious mind and these hidden figures. Shi Heng believed that meeting your anima or animus is a step toward wholeness, a process he called integration. To become who you truly are, you must know these parts of yourself, not reject them, but embrace them with awareness. So, the next time you feel that urge, pause. Notice the fantasy that arises. Ask, who is this figure in my mind? What do they represent? A longing, a memory, a need? This isn't about overthinking, it's about listening. Shi Heng would say, in your moments of solitude, your soul speaks loudest. By listening, you turn a fleeting desire into something deeper, something sacred. This doesn't mean your fantasies are wrong. They're messages, guiding you to parts of yourself that need love. If your anima or animus is wounded, masturbation might feel like chasing something you can't grasp. But when you see these figures clearly, you start to heal them. You start to connect not just with a fantasy, but with your own heart. Shi Heng would remind you, desire is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Masturbation can be a mirror, showing you the masculine or feminine within. Don't run from what you see. Face it with courage. Ask, what is my soul seeking through this act? The answers may lead you to a deeper connection, not just with pleasure, but with yourself. This journey is about more than the body. It's about finding the other within you, the parts you've forgotten. By listening to your anima or animus, you take a step toward wholeness. Let's keep walking this path, toward a life where desire becomes a bridge to your soul. You felt that fire inside, haven't you? The rush of desire, the heat that fills your body when you masturbate. This is your life force, raw and alive. But what do you do with it? Shi Heng would say, this energy is not meant to be wasted or feared, it's meant to be guided. There's a path few talk about, called sublimation. It's not about denying desire or locking it away. It's about transforming it into something greater, something that lifts your soul. Sublimation is like redirecting a river. Instead of letting your energy spill into habits that leave you empty, you channel it into creation. This could be art, writing, movement, or a purpose that sets your heart ablaze. Shi Heng taught that your energy is your power, it's the spark of courage, the pulse of life. When you learn to guide it, it becomes a force that shapes your world, not just your body. Too often, you're taught only two ways: repress or release. Repression suffocates you, mindless release leaves you hollow. Sublimation is the third way, the way of transformation. Think of the artists, the dreamers, the builders who took their inner fire and created something beautiful. They didn't extinguish their desire, they gave it a new form. Shi Heng would ask, what could you create if you honored your energy this way? This doesn't mean you must stop masturbating. It means you start asking, am I using this fire only to ease tension, or can I direct it towards something that fulfills me? Maybe it's a song you've never sung, a story you've never told, or a step toward a dream you've buried. Masturbation can still be part of your life, but it's no longer the only outlet. It becomes one note in a larger song, where your energy flows into connection, growth, and meaning. Shi Heng would say, you are a being of symbols, not just instincts. Your desires carry messages, pointing you toward purpose. That moment after masturbation, when the world feels dull or guilt creeps in, that's your soul whispering. It's not judging you, it's asking, is this all you seek? Pleasure fades, but meaning endures. When you listen, you start to see that your energy isn't just for release, it's for creation. Don't fear this shift. It's not about perfection. It's about choice. The next time you feel that urge, pause. Breathe. Ask, what else can this energy become? Can it fuel a project, a conversation, a moment of stillness? This simple question opens a door. Shi Heng believed that when you channel your fire, it heals you. It turns restlessness into strength, emptiness into purpose. Your desire is not a burden, it's a gift. Masturbation can be a spark, but it's not the whole flame. Let it remind you of the power within you. Guide that power with care, and it will light up your life in ways you never imagined. You're not here to just release, you're here to create, to connect, to live fully. Let's keep moving toward that truth. That quiet moment after masturbation, when the body is calm, but something inside stirs. Maybe it's a faint sadness, a restless feeling, or an emptiness you can't name. This is your soul calling you. Shi Heng would say, don't turn away from this moment. It's not here to shame you, it's here to show you what you truly seek. Your desire, your energy, is more than a fleeting spark. It's a bridge to your deeper self. Masturbation can be a shortcut, a way to ease the ache of something greater, connection, love, presence. But pleasure alone fades fast. Shi Heng taught that you're not made to live on pleasure, you're made for meaning. That emptiness you feel isn't a flaw, it's a sign. It's your heart asking, what do you really need? Maybe it's not just release, but a moment of true intimacy, with yourself, with others, with life. Notice this, how often is masturbation a substitute? A shield against loneliness, anxiety, or unspoken fears? Shi Heng would urge you to look closer. Not to judge, but to understand. This act isn't your enemy, it's a mirror. It shows where you're hurting, where you're longing. That post-pleasure silence is your chance to listen. Ask, what am I avoiding? What part of me needs to be seen? These questions turn a reflex into a doorway. The path forward isn't about stopping or controlling. Shi Heng never preached repression, he spoke of integration. This means welcoming your desire, your body, your soul, without splitting them apart. Masturbation isn't good or bad, it's what you bring to it. If you act out of habit, escaping yourself, it pulls you further from wholeness. But if you act with presence, with respect for your energy, it can be a step toward healing. Integration takes time. You'll stumble, repeat old patterns, feel lost. But Shi Heng would remind you, every step of awareness is progress. Each time you pause, each time you ask why, you grow stronger. The guilt that once weighed you down becomes curiosity. The emptiness that haunted you becomes a space for new meaning. You don't need to stop masturbating, you need to stop running from yourself. Your desire is a call, not a curse. It's the voice of your soul, urging you to become whole. Shi Heng believed that when you face your impulses with courage, they transform. They become a fire that lights your path, not burns you. So, the next time you feel that urge, don't rush. Breathe. Ask, what is this energy asking of me? The answer might lead you to a life where pleasure and purpose walk together. This journey is yours. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and share this with someone seeking their own truth. Shi Heng would say, you're not here to survive, you're here to live, fully, with your soul awake. Your desire is the spark, your awareness is the flame. Keep walking this path, and you'll find not just pleasure, but peace. Until next time, stay present, stay whole.